that was how we did it back in 2016, but more recently we're using a workshop environment, and we also have our tactics cards.
Yeah.
Tell us about how it works nowadays.
Yeah. So when we're in a room with a group of people, let's say we're working with a group of change practitioners from a consultancy, we'll bring them together. They will each work on their own rapid activation plan based on a client problem that they're dealing with or based on an internal problem that they're dealing with. Mm-hmm. And so you end up having different people working on different projects and cross-pollinating ideas. It's really exciting and interesting. And then we'll get them to pull out the activation tactics cards. Now those are 48 cards, 6 discrete activation tactics per catalyst.
Yeah.
And it allows the person thinking about their rapid activation plan and their behaviors to sift through the cards and decide which of the tactics that they're looking at might match up with the behaviors that they want to engender and that they want to embed. And so typically if somebody recognizes that they are experiencing a problem of a lack of connection perhaps, or the connection might be a good catalyst to take advantage of, then they'll look through those tactics cards and see if there are any that might relate to the particular behaviors they're trying to embed. And then they will pull those out and start to imagine an experience that they could design based on the tactic that they're looking at.
And the risk is that they think all 48 are really cool, and so how do we avoid them picking a whole bunch that means it's too complex to deal with or work with?
It's been really interesting to see how people have used the cards. There are some patterns, but the beauty of a card deck is that you can cluster tactics and catalysts together in your own way, right? You're not beholden to a particular process. You can take a little bit from this deck, a little bit from that deck or suit, and construct a plan very quickly and not judgmentally, really. I think that's the problem that slows down people quite a lot, is that they try and overanalyze everything. But the cards lend themselves to rapidly selecting a few tactics and trying them out. And there's no major cost or overhead to doing that, right? So you don't feel over-invested in any particular tactic. You can try them out. If they work in your mind, they work and you can pursue them further. If they don't, you can shelve them. And that's as simple as picking up the card and moving it to the side.
And how would that work in a change program that's in flight already? Like if you're diagnosing something that is maybe you're going off the rails, or you're not sure it's going to achieve the outcomes, how would you use the activation plan there?
We were dealing with a consultant recently who was saying, I don't have any problems yet on my project. I'm rolling something out, there's no problems yet. And that's probably, maybe there is some poor framing in saying that we're looking for activation problems. Actually, what you're looking for is activation challenges. Where do you see an opportunity to activate an audience to get a better result? And so you can pick it up at any point. Early on in a project where you're simply rolling it out and you're saying, we need people to act in a certain way to make this project successful. Yeah. Maybe there aren't any problems yet. And so you reach for the cards, you reach for the framework and the rapid activation plan, and you start describing situations where it would be optimal for people to take action and get stuff done. Mm-hmm. And then you can use the cards to think about how to get them to do that.
Yeah, I thought one of the other things we've discovered is people come with a too generic view of the type of change they're trying to achieve. So it could be, we want to implement Workday, or we want to implement a new culture, but they haven't got to a granular level of detail. So how do we use the cards to enable that?
Another great example that always comes up is we want to be more agile. And so whatever the latest buzz term, insert here. And what the rapid activation plan does before the cards is it forces you to drill down to the behavioral level. Mm-hmm. So it gets you to focus on audience at a high level, problems or challenges at a high level, opportunities at a high level. And then when you get down to the behavioral level, we're asking you to identify specific things that we want people to do. Yeah. And so it's the focus, the sharp focus on removing the abstract terms and focusing instead on concrete observable behaviors that the cards encourage you to do. Yeah.
So like we want you to have more networking means let's go and actually have conversations. Find your mentor, go talk to your career counsellor.
Ask for advice.
For advice. Seek feedback, or have a accountability buddy where you go and engage with them and talk about your personal vision or purpose or whatever the topic might be, or struggles you're having with getting inducted and feeling belonging in the organisation.
Exactly.
Yeah, great. So those are some great examples, and I hope we continue to have some fun in those workshops.